I bought 4 roasted duck legs, and my son ate 2 of them. When he saw me pick one up for myself, his face flushed with anxiety. Why didn't you save any for Dad? I was confused. There's still one left for him on the plate, isn't there? He was on the verge of tears, reaching out to snatch the duck leg I had just taken a bite of. Couldn't you have saved 2 for Dad? I froze. So in his eyes, I had no right to eat the duck legs I had personally bought and cooked. For a moment, I couldn't believe the words coming out of the son I had raised with my own 2 hands. I thought maybe he just hadn't seen clearly. I explained to him, there were 4 in total. You had 2, I'm having 1, and we saved 1 for Dad. He dodged the point. Well, why didn't you tell me? I was baffled. Tell you what, he raised his voice, shouting, you were supposed to tell me before you ate it. How else was I supposed to know you took one? I was struggling to understand. I have to ask for your permission to eat a duck leg now? His face turned crimson with anger. Are you crazy? Stop changing the subject and answer my question. Why didn't you save more for Dad? I pointed to the plate. I did. There's one right there. He looked as if he'd been deeply wronged, wiping away tears as he said resentfully, why didn't you save 2 for him? I was dumbstruck. So he wasn't bad at math. I suppressed my anger and questioned him. So, in your opinion, is Mommy not even allowed to eat a single duck leg? He didn't answer, just stood there with his chin up and his neck stiff, looking sympathetically toward his father. Dad works so hard every day. Of course he should get an extra one. You could just eat something else. Why do you have to fight him for it? Can't you stop being so selfish for once? At this, my husband Mark, who had been sitting by silently, grinned and pushed the plate of duck legs closer to our son, Alex. Alex's eyes immediately welled up again, his lip trembling as if his suffering had just been validated. It finally clicked. I looked at the child I had painstakingly raised, my voice filled with disbelief. So Mommy doesn't work hard? Mommy goes to work every day, does all the housework, and takes care of you. Isn't Mommy tired? Doesn't she deserve to eat 1 single duck leg? He said nothing, just kept wiping his tears away. Seeing this, my husband finally decided to speak, playing the peacemaker. All right, why are you arguing with a child? He's so young. What does he know? He's just fooling around with you. I stared silently at the dishes on the table. Every day after work, I'd rush to the market, always picking the freshest, most expensive ingredients, terrified that anything less would affect my son's health. Then I'd race back home to get dinner on the table before he returned from school, just so he wouldn't have to wait hungry. Every morning, a neatly folded set of clean clothes was waiting for him by his bed. The house was always spotless, a result of me fighting off sleep every night to clean. The snacks, the fruit, the household supplies, they never ran out, and he never once wondered where they came from. He was used to it, so he never saw it. He only saw his father leaving early and coming home late from work. A knot of pain tightened in my chest. I couldn't help but ask him, Mommy is very tired and works very hard too. He pushed the plate back toward his father, his tone dismissive. You barely make any money. How hard can your job be? Dad is the pillar of this family. He's the one who works the hardest. My eyes locked onto my husband, Mark. He looked away guiltily, forcing a laugh. Anna, don't take it out on the kid. His job was a cushy, low-stress position, and his salary was significantly lower than mine. But he'd always said that a father needed to maintain a strong, positive image to encourage his son to become a responsible, upstanding man. So, he lied to Alex about his income, inflating his own while drastically downplaying mine. I thought it was for our child's benefit, so I never said anything. I never imagined that in my son's eyes, his father was the sole provider, and I was just a pathetic freeloader who didn't even deserve a duck leg. The thought made my anger boil over. I swept my arm across the table, sending dishes crashing to the floor. Then nobody eats, Mark gasped. Anna, are you insane? I laughed coldly.